You are now listening to the Two Bros, One Podcast.
All right, let's do this. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, y'all. It is your two favorite brothers. Welcome back to the Two Bros, One Podcast, hosted by yours truly, the Brothers Grimm. I am DJ Hunts.
I am MC Broccoli.
And we are going to talk about everything, anything, and absolutely
nothing.
There we go.
Absolutely nothing.
Today is a pretty mellow day. I don't know how to put that. It's going to be a little bit different than usual today.
Yeah.
We suffered, both me and Brock, kind of suffered a loss in these, just recently. We had a childhood friend who we grew up with on the same block, who we got to play baseball with, where both our dads coached. Actually, one actually ran the whole league, and our dad was a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who I had the pleasure of being a roommate with for a year and got to work with and got to know his life, and he unfortunately has been battling cancer for a good minute, and it's a very, very rare, I think it's bone cancer pretty much. I don't know the technical name for it, but basically he had cancer in his leg. They took it out years ago, totally fine, but then it came back with vengeance.
Yeah.
Went from being one tumor to like multiple tumors, and unfortunately we got the news that he passed away. And so it's kind of been one of those weeks where we're just trying to live life. We're just trying to do our thing, and and then you hear the shock of like one of your friends, that lifelong friend that just passed away, thinking like if anybody was going to be cancer, it was going to be him. And unfortunately that wasn't the case. And so, yeah, it was, it's one of those things.
Yeah. It's yeah, I'm just struggling, honestly. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even going to front. I'm not even going to try to.
And it's not even just about RJ stuff.
And it's like, it's RJ was a brother. RJ was a great person. Granted, I feel guilty. I haven't seen RJ before this in a long time, and I do feel guilty.
Mm-hmm.
I feel guilty that I didn't,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not a sad thing, because it is. It's a total sad thing. It's horribly sad, but it's just like, again, it's just, we're both believers. I don't the backlash in this, whatever. I don't care, man. But I do call myself a Christian. We are, we do love Jesus, and RJ was a pastor at this church in Calvary Oceanside, and regardless of what you believe in, my man RJ was he was a leading dude. He was actually one of those people where if you said, hey, who's a world changer, I think RJ was definitely a good picture and a good representation of like God and Christ, and how he showed people love all the time when he was battling the craziest cancer. Like, man, this man would just come out, like sometimes out of the hospital, or he'd just come out being like, oh, with the happiest smile, and just like whatever, man, like, because he had hope. He had the hope, and he had faith. No matter what was going to happen.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I never saw. I barely remember any days. I can't even remember a day where RJ had a bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it was a bad day, man, he hit it pretty well. But he always had a smile on his face. He was always hyped up on something.
Seriously.
Always excited. Always had some joy in him. Never saw a bad side of RJ.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful that, we had the pleasure of being good friends with him, going to the same church with him, playing baseball together, and just sharing so much together,
Mm-hmm.
And it hit me hard. And when I heard about it, I made a memorial video for him, because I also did get the pleasure of having him be in a couple TikToks with him as well. One of them was like one of the very first TikToks I ever posted, where he was like dancing on, just playing this game with Dance Dance Revolution with another friend, and they're just looking like a couple of idiots. And I pan over to the other Dance Dance Revolution, and these two were just like perfectly in sync, just like it was amazing. It was funny. But we had a lot of good times. But anyway, I made this memorial video, and I figured I'll just like show this real fast. So make sure the volume's all the way up. Yeah, here we go. So make sure, okay. Just want to make sure that. All right, here we go. Here. Yeah, so made that little memorial video for him. A lot of cool things. That was actually the first time so like part of the video is like we made a bet together, and about who was gonna win, the Packers or the Green Bay or Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think that year the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won, so I had to go buy RJ food, whatever his choosing, and he chose to go to get Pokey. And that Poke spot that we went to is the same Poke spot I now always go to after like a workout. You know, that's now that he introduced me to that place. I'm just like, oh, this is a good place.
Yeah.
Now after almost every workout, I'll go there now. It's cool.
That was a good video. That was
sweet video.
No, it's a good video. Good job. I like that video, Hunter.
Yeah.
Would have showcased that. Yeah, this episode is dedicated to RJ.
Yeah.
This is the RJ episode.
Cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But I like that you're about to tell a little story. So I mean, I'd like to tell a good story about RJ besides the one you just told.
Oh yeah.
But like, I know
there's
like a lot of. You guys done a lot together. You guys did a lot of missionary stuff together. You guys.
Yeah, we did. There was a lot, dude. We did
lived together.
so much.
Out of all the many stories, can you pick one story?
What's one story? I'm trying to think of one good story. Shoot. Yeah. Okay, I'll go with this one. This one was fun. Me and RJ had a passion to play video games, and
No.
we love playing video games. And when we were living together, in this internship house, we would always play. There was we had, I don't know who brought it. I don't know who had it, but they had an old school Nintendo.
Yeah.
And they had Super Mario Brothers. And so we were binging that game, bro. We were playing this game, and we would stay up all night just trying to beat like the secret levels of like Mario Brothers, and we eventually did, which was like, I think we beat it around like 2:00 in the morning, and then it was like we had to get up in like 4 hours. It was funny, but anyway, it was a good time. But I just remember. That was just one of the best times. I was like, finally beat the lost levels. RJ was there, was like hanging out, hung out with me the whole night. He didn't have to, but he was just into the game just as much as I was. I will say that here's another funny story. Here's another story. This is a better story. So we both worked as like interns at Calvary Oceanside.
Mm-hmm.
This is before RJ was like junior high pastor, and one day, him and a bunch of guys from the office just started putting plants in my office, and every day, I think for a whole week straight, there'd just be like another plant, another pot of plant. every day. And I didn't really like, I was just like, I guess someone just wants to make my room look nice. So they just started putting plants in here.
Any plants? They would
Just
find
started
all the
putting any
churches and all that?
plants. And then it came to a point, it got so ridiculous, bro. It was like trees on top of my desk, just everywhere. And I'm just like, what is this? What? And then and RJ couldn't hold it. He was like laughing before he would open the door. Because at this point, my whole office looked like a jungle. I probably have the picture somewhere, but it'll come up on my like Facebook memories, whatever. But it was just so funny. It was like him. It was like RJ, Josh, and the janitor, Steve. Yeah,
Steve.
and I thought that was funny. That was probably one of the best times. That was one of the funniest times, as far as working together. That was great.
Good. Yeah, I remember those times. I remember you were just very involved with them. You know, that was a good little. You guys had a great group too, man.
Yeah, we were solid. We were solid.
Yeah, like a solid little group of guys.
Mhm.
You know, I know Kenny Shaver was around too.
Kenny Shaver was definitely around. Yeah,
Kenny Shaver.
he never did the internship with us, which would I don't know. He would fit right in, obviously, but Kenny Shaver was definitely part of it too.
Yeah,
Part
definitely.
of, he was I think if anything, he was like RJ's real best friend.
Yeah,
So
they were truly buds, and
mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
I knew RJ fairly well, but I mean, later in life, you know, we kind of drifted apart.
Yeah, you know.
You know, I didn't, and, you know, and whatever. I'll beat myself up. You know, I was involved in the church, but I wasn't. You know, sadly,
Connected with everybody.
I wasn't connected like that with the way RJ was. You know, my heart was in other places and whatever. And there's no excuse. I'm not trying to have excuses of whatever, but you know, I'll tell you this though. The first time I did, RJ went to church. I brought him to church.
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought him to church.
Yeah, you may not have been with him as much in the end, but you were definitely very, very, very much a part of his life in the beginning.
Yeah, I think you know, not to be like, oh, I'm the first one, but
No.
But you know, RJ was my friend growing up. You know, when we were like like we went to elementary school together, and we were all in the same class together, and we played baseball like Little League together. And he also lived next to the Dobbins, you know.
Yep.
And like the thing about RJ, and I was telling our buddy Josh just the other day, RJ was just like, you know, he never changed in the best possible way. He's always his funny self, no matter what.
Yeah.
Goofy and just everything. RJ is funny guy. So this is my little story time about RJ.
Go for it.
I think I was like a junior high in high school, and our pastor at the time was Abel Mendez.
Yep.
And Abel was like this dude who, I hope he watches this. I'm gonna send him this clip. But he was an amazing brother that I looked up to. You know, we looked up to so much. You know, we went surfing with this guy. We did so many. You know, he taught us so much theological things about like the Bible and other religions and other. It just was. This guy was awesome. But so, you know, RJ, we played Little League together, and I think I don't remember what team it was, but we played baseball, and then like he came to my house to sleep over. He came to our house to sleep over, and we slept in the camper. We had a camper.
Sweet. Yeah, camper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our parents had a camper, and we slept in the camper. But you know, at the time, every Sunday, you know, we'd always go to Sunday school, or you know, every time we go to church, we go every Sunday. Went to
Every
church.
Sunday, yeah.
Didn't matter what it was. Went to church every Sunday. So RJ came with us, you know,
Yep.
and this is when RJ didn't really know, you know, he didn't really know about the Lord.
No, he didn't.
But he
know.
also didn't like. It wasn't he was like turned off or anything. I just didn't think like he didn't really grasp, you know, church and you know, God, and you know, he didn't understand that yet. So I brought him to church. And you know, I remember like, if you go to church and stuff, you know, they always have like the donuts, and you know, they got like the stand where you get $1, bagels, whatever. I remember, Mom got him like a donut, and then like he's like, oh yeah, do you want something to drink? And he's like, I can get something to drink. So if you knew RJ loves Coca-Cola. RJ loves Coca-Cola.
That was his big deal.
He was a big Coke. I'm not gonna say that. He was just a big
Coke addict.
Yeah, he was a big Coke addict. Huge. I mean, this guy had like, there's a picture of him.
Yeah,
with,
they
like,
were selling
4.
coke at church. Did you guys know that? They were selling coke at church.
Relax.
Lots of coke.
Yeah. So RJ loved that. He loved the fact he was just getting overwhelmed with donuts and Coca-Cola. And during church, he was listening. And if you do go to church or you don't, sometimes they have these like little prayer cards that you can like, if you're like, so that people can pray for you, or
Yep.
people can like, think about you and lift you up and whatever. For me, I just put, I hope one day RJ gets saved, or I hope he knows the Lord. And it's so funny because it's like
You wrote that prayer card like how many times? You wrote that same thing like almost every week, right?
I think I wrote it like every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
For like a
praying
year
for RJ,
straight.
praying for RJ. And I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. I don't even remember how many times I've rewritten it. People have told me that's like, dude, you like Abel says like, dude, I always got a stack, and it was always like, hope praying the Lord to get saved, praying the Lord to get saved. I don't even remember that, and that's so crazy that it is. But story wise, yeah, I put it on there. So RJ, we leave church. He said, "This is great. This is awesome." Because he just, it was cool. It was also like it was like a good time to like go to church and like see something crazy, because we did go to a cool church at the time. It's still a good church, but I remember that same day we get home. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock rolls around. I get a call from RJ.
Yep.
I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this. RJ calls me and he goes, "Hey, dude, I just want to let you know my mom says we're Catholic, and I can't go to church anymore." Okay, bye. like, I was just like, I remember being so confused, being like, okay. I don't know. I just didn't really grasp that understanding. But yeah, then all those prayer cards.
That didn't really work.
It didn't really work. No, it didn't really work. And yeah, years later. I mean, not even years later. I think like started time after that, artists started just coming back to church. I think he started coming back in 8th grade when we were in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when, and like for us, 8th grade youth group was killer, bro.
Yeah, we were living life. Yeah,
dude, it was
Life
so
was good.
good.
Life
It was
was-
like fun. Did a lot of camps, a lot of beach trips. Like,
And RJ actually, and part of RJ's testimony after, the bit about someone writing, "Hey, RJ gets saved" on the prayer cards for like a year straight or however long, he eventually gave his life at Massa Mole Hunt. It was after Massa Mole Hunt, he actually truly like, yeah, I'm going to give my life to the Lord. And it was like that point where it changed. So
Yeah.
it was after the Massa Mole Hunt. I remember that. I remember
Massive
that too.
Mall Hunt was an incredible event.
That was fun.
But
It was a lot
yeah,
of fun.
I do remember that too. And I remember like I was playing in the church band at Massive Mall Hunt. No, I wasn't at the time. It was a year before. Whatever. But yeah, I remember when, and then ever since then, RJ
He was always around.
started growing.
He was always around. It was just always around with us,
He was very, smart man. RJ, dude, was just funny, awesome, great, cool. He always accepted everybody.
Yeah.
He always
He was a
always
real
around.
one. He was a real one.
He definitely was a real one. Definitely
Very goofy. But
Very
very,
goofy.
but very honest.
But he did everything all out of love.
Yeah.
His heart was so.
Yeah.
After just like,
Yeah.
after him being saved now, and after going through high school together,
Yep.
going like to even go like to young adults together, just seeing him around, it was always good. And even now later in life, that the last time I did see him, I didn't know that was gonna be it. But no one ever no one ever
You never, yeah.
thinks
you never
that.
know.
And I'm not saying this is like a sad thing, because as joyousness, this is he's he doesn't have cancer anymore.
Right.
He's cancer free.
Right.
He's reigning up in heaven right now.
Yeah.
But RJ, you're the man, dude. You're the man, brother. And I
Yeah.
appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
Perfect.
I'm not trying to not catch myself. I'm like, water works, but
Yeah. Anyway.
because it sucks, but hey, it's all good. It's
Yeah.
okay. Hunter will, this video, you'll see the video that Hunter put, and you'll see in this podcast, but yeah, this is all dedicated to RJ.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. But moving on, it's just been one of those weeks because at the same time, we're also human too, and we also have our own struggles aside from unexpected deaths. It's today. This week, despite the fun we had doing our show at Poorhouse, which is great. We'll end it on a good note with that.
Yeah, we'll talk about our show and stuff.
Yeah, it's just dude, it's hard. It's hard running, trying to stay in self-employed, trying to run business, or trying to get a business off the ground, as best as possible. Especially when you're trying to run how many channels now? Like I got my own Brothers Grimm, Two Bros One Podcast.
Yeah.
And then all the YouTubes, Facebooks, Instagrams, TikToks that go with that. It's a lot, bro.
It's a lot.
And then trying to make flyers on top of that, and it's just like, okay. It's like it's fun, and there's a lot of work, and then it's just like, yeah, the money does come a little tight sometimes, and then it does become a problem, and sometimes you just feel like we're not making it, or things just go south somehow, and it's tough.
It is tough.
It's all part of the process too, dude.
Yeah, and that's
it's all part of the process too. So.
Yeah, I'm there today. That's why, guys, you're like, Brock, man,
where's the energy, man?
Where's the energy, bro? Where you at, dude? Well, I'm here, but mentally I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
Physically I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
Like Hunter's saying, we're just trying to pull a lot of what we're doing, off the ground. Make it fun, and at the end of the day, this is what we do, and this is what we're all about. But yeah, this week in general. I mean, for us, it's Tuesday. When you see this podcast, it'll be whatever day
next
it is.
Tuesday, probably.
But the thing is, any day is all the same right now, because I'm just feeling really just down about myself, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with sharing that. And I'm not trying to sit here and be like, "Oh, poor me, my life sucks because I'm doing this and this and it's not working out." Blah blah blah, blah whatever. I guess it's just hard.
Yeah,
I'm really not trying to let a lot of things get to me. I'm really not trying to compare myself to others. That's a big thing I do struggle with. I struggle with comparing myself and going, oh, this place is doing it better than we are. Or this podcast is better than this. Or, oh my gosh, that person has pinker hair than me, or something. Or, I'm really just not trying to compare myself. And sometimes that just is flooding my mind. Like yesterday, yeah, we had a good productive day yesterday. But it was just like I couldn't get past this hurdle of like, hey man, it's all good. I was really trying to snap myself out of it. Really trying to tell myself, positivity is activity, gratitude is the attitude. If you're going through this situation like this in life, it's because you're doing something right, not because you're doing something wrong. And we're just trying. But we do really support. All right, sorry. But the people who do watch this channel, thank you. Seriously, thank you for supporting us, being here for us. If I could be here for you, if I could give you a high five or a hug or whatever, I would, and say thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That does mean a lot. And I really do appreciate the people that come out to our emo nights and who have bought our merch.
Yeah,
because on one side, yeah, I could be like, oh, this is not working, but on the other side, this is positive because I am grateful for what we do have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for the things that we have put together.
We put on killer shows, bro.
We put a kick show on this last week, dude. We do great things together, and in all reality, too, Hunter, it's a blessing to do this together with you.
Yeah, it's a blessing to do with you too, bro.
You're my brother. You're my older brother, and it's something that a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't do together. A lot of people don't. Not a lot of brother duos out there that do entertainment and then also social media and then take care of our mom and have to go through life and just there is a lot. But there's no one I know we say this all the time, but there's no one I'd rather do it with you. And I'm sorry for being a jackass a lot of the time. I'm trying to, if I get angry a lot, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
I appreciate it. And I appreciate you. You do a lot. You do a lot. We do a lot for each other. Yeah, I'm just gonna just that's where I'm at today, everybody. That's
Yeah, that's kind of where this that's kind of where the vibe's at today. So sorry it's not as exciting as entertaining, but we'll try to switch gears here when we talk about our first time at the poorhouse. And let me lead it off like this: the whole Brothers Grimm thing. This all started when we went to go to an emo night that was locally in our area because we live in Oceanside and the poorhouse is in Oceanside.
Yeah.
This all started when we went to go, me, Brock, and our roommates, Billy and Jackie, heard about this emo night that's happened down at the poorhouse in Oceanside. Poorhouse is like a very local venue. It's a very local venue. It's like the biggest. It's like one of our like. Hey, if you know any local venues to go watch some bands play,
Poorhouse.
Yeah, that's like the spot. So we heard about this and I'm like, dude, let's go check it out. This is probably sick. It's close by. We don't have to go all the way to San Diego or go all the way to LA or whatever. And we went there, and it was not that great. We walked in.
Oh, this emo. Yes. I was talking about our emo night. I was like, wait.
No. We're talking not an emo night. This is before Brothers. This is before any of that.
Sorry.
So it was this is like literally 2-3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So before the Brothers Grimm was even a thought, this is when the thought came. It came when we went to go to the poorhouse to go watch this emo night, and aesthetically, we're comparing it too with like emo night Brooklyn and emo night LA and the ones we have been to.
Yeah.
Compared to that, it was just not up to standard.
No.
Like I remember, I love Slipknot, but you don't start emo night off with
Wait and Bleed.
With not even Wait and Bleed. It was Sick. They started off with Sick, and I was just like,
didn't he play Amir like right after that too?
No, he played. I don't know if he played Amir, but I know he played. I know Killers came on real soon, and I was just thinking, and I looked at Brock, and I remember looking at you. It was just like, we could definitely do way better. we could do a way better show. And it was that's when the thought came. And it was just like from the poorhouse, at the poorhouse. So it was really cool because now it came full circle.
Right.
Here we are at the poorhouse, putting on our own show. Not teaming up with anybody. This is like our show.
Like no support acts, no
support acts,
just
this.
the Brothers Grimm.
Just us. And it was a success.
It was. It was a very well success. And Poorhouse, thank you so much for hosting us and having this great show. And Will, you're an amazing guy, and we appreciate you, man. Really appreciate a lot we're doing because for our viewers who don't know who don't really see our videos or who have been to a Brothers Grimm show, that we do a lot. Yeah, that show is a lot. We put a lot of time into it. We put a lot of effort into it with video promotions, with flyers, making sure spreading the word around to make sure people come to this emo night. And that takes a lot of time and money, and it takes a lot from us.
Yeah,
you have our own equipment. All that plays into effect, but it was an incredible kick-ass show. I definitely agree. Yeah,
it was a great show, and to see people. It came to a point where me and Brock it didn't really matter whether we were there or not, as long as we were just playing the music. People were up on the stage and taking full control.
Absolutely.
We gave them the mics, they sang their songs, and it was perfect. And then even after the show, we had nothing but compliments from the staff, nothing but compliments from everybody saying, "Hey, thank you for guys, you guys knew what you guys." They basically said, "Thank you for knowing what you guys are doing.
Yeah,
way to take control, way to handle everything." They were just like super, just like these guys. These guys have it all together.
Yeah, and that's always nice to hear. That is really nice to hear. Just we had our stuff together. I had a plan of how we wanted to do the show, and and that's kind of where my expertise really come into hand. Is I know how to do a show. I know what a venue is looking for, and I know what. From a money-making side, what a business is doing to, create a more general flow and make it a cool night and make it a cool event. And it was just so well-rounded. Yeah, it was a big compliment whenever the staff is just like, "You guys know what you're doing. You guys know it was our first time being there, doing that, and that just it was incredible.
Set it all. Let's set the tone.
Thank you.
Let's set the tone.
We set the tone, which." I want to show this video right now. If you haven't, if you're not following us right now, too, please follow us, man. Please follow us. Please just follow us. Follow us for everything. Follow us for all these fun videos, all this fun content, because there's a lot of funny things that we post about, that we do. But if you don't know about this, we did this thing during our set. That's fun. And I want you to...
Yeah, it was a fun point. Yeah.
I want you to check it out. So here it is. This goes out to all my Shorzy fans.
Put your hands in the air right now, bro. Put your hands up right now. Shorzy, you ready? Go. Yeah. You ready? You're going. Yeah. You ready? Let's lock the wheels, man. Yankees are going. Yeah. Mitch, you ready? All hands, boys. Yankees are going. Yeah. Going. You run them up and fill them in.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Stopped.
Oh my gosh! That's not good. The video will play on the rest right here. Insert right here.
Une fois, mon seigneur. Yankees are fucking going. Yeah. The best goal in the no-show. Michaels, you ready? You're damn right, Sanger. Yankees are fucking going. Yeah. Pack mentality, boys.
Pretty sick, right? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty sick. Yeah.
We love watching Shorzy. That whole comes from the TV show. Comes from the TV show Shorzy. When they're just hyping up everybody in the locker room to get ready to go out and play some hockey. So we used that, and we thought that was a good like little thing to play before Downfall of Us All. It was a good transition.
Oh,
so.
yeah. I just thought that was incredible.
Yeah. So it's always fun. We got to do that for the second time now. We did that for the first time at the same, but I think it looked definitely, they turned out way better for Poorhouse. They were ready for it.
They were definitely ready for it. It was cool. That was a lot of fun. We love Shorzy. We love doing fun things like that, and that's what makes us different. And I want to keep being.
We got a little bit more. We definitely bring some character
more
to the show.
Charismatic.
A little bit different. Yeah, absolutely. But dude, with that said, definitely be sure to check out our merch. We got our hats. Brock's got a green hat, Brothers Grimm hat, and we got our boy. I don't know what his name is behind you, but he's rocking our our Brothers Grimm tank top right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There you go. So yeah, be sure to check out our merch store at thebrothersgrimm.store. Link will be right here at the bottom.
Yes, sir.
And yeah.
Yeah, you can really you can purchase any of these, please. Honestly, premium clothing, good things, good stuff. We rock it all the time, and it helps us. It really helps us.
Definitely does.
I'm not asking for money or anything. I'm not asking. You can do whatever you want, but at the same time, is your support does help. It really does. It goes a long way, and you get really cool, get some cool merch.
Yeah.
Fun fact to know too as well, if you go on Shopify and you're like, oh, I see the hats are different colors. You can buy a different, not just a black hat. You don't have to just buy the standard black hat, but you can buy a green one. You can buy a blue one. You can buy a red one. You can buy whatever one. You can customize it as well, because that's the fun thing about doing this, because I know you people love to customize everything because it's fun and you're good at it. Or you're just like me and you're just like, I'm just going to buy it as is, whatever. Either way, go to the brothersgrimm.store to purchase some premium merchandise today.
Sweet.
You're sweet. I feel a little more alive. It's good to just talk about.
It's good to get it out.
I think in the beginning, I remember when we started this podcast, we were like,
it's kind of what it's about.
Everything, anything, and absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And
when it comes to days where we're just kind of not feeling as energetic as we normally are in other podcasts, bro, this is what it's for,
Yeah. This is really what it's about. And
it's really just about our lives and how we're feeling day to day, every week to week,
Yeah.
And so, this is just one of the weeks, and it's therapeutic. That's what it is. It's therapeutic.
Really is. It's very therapeutic.
Because, I know personally for me, I don't have a lot of people I can really go up and talk to, and I sometimes think about that too. Some of the people who I do talk about my things, I probably shouldn't. As in, like, oh, there's better people out there I
get
could
you.
tell it to, people who actually would do something or care.
Right.
But it's nice to also be able to do care,
It really is.
Like, there's it's nice to kind of get it all out there and just realize, show the world, and hey, we're human too.
We are.
We're human with emotions. We're human that suffer loss too. We take it and handle it in the way that we do. And so this is one of the ways. And yeah, like I said, it's therapeutic. I mean, it's nice to have. And so it's good for us.
Yeah, it is.
It's good for us.
It really much is.
So, and if you appreciate that, thank you for hearing us out.
Yeah.
Thank you for hearing listen to us when we're super energetic and we're super fun, and listen to us when we're not as super high and energetic and going through some stuff, So
we call that in our emo nights, we call you an A1 day one for being here since the beginning. So thank you, A1 day one crew.
Yeah.
For seeing us for who we really are, and as brothers, and being real, and yeah,
Yeah.
Big shout out. Yeah.
To the A1 day ones.
A1 day ones.
Yep.
Definitely.
Cool.
I did have a top 5.
What do you got?
You can. I mean, we don't have to if you don't want to.
No, we're doing it. Let's do it.
All right.
Let's get a top 5 in. Let's go.
All right. Well, if you know about this podcast, we have our top 5s. So let's see if you had some time on this one. But I said, what is your top 5 best concerts you've attended?
Okay.
It's a little kind of difficult. Kind of think about like all the fun ones we've done.
No, it won't be that hard.
All right then.
Yeah,
I guess
let's
I'm
go.
speaking for myself.
Go ahead. Why don't you start it off though?
Okay. I want to say, and starting at number 5, in no particular order, I'll go for the most recent one. I'm gonna have to say I Data Remember.
The last Data Remember
The
show we
last
went to?
Data Remember show
Good
that
show.
we saw. If you saw Data Remember in San Diego at Gallagher Square, that was a good show. It was a good show. I mean, played so many bangers, so many good bangers, and I love the way Jeremy just was so composed. He just was kind of like you just chill, just like, hey, yeah, what's going on? Like one of the, I felt like he was doing like one of those, but at the same time, it was still like, disrespect your surroundings. Didn't.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was
It was
nice.
so good. It was awesome. Data Remember was for me.
Cool. Number 5 for you. Cool.
What was about you?
I'm gonna keep number 5. It was probably the first concert we went to at Soma San Diego. It was
Ooh.
it was As I Lay Dying headliner with Haste. Was it Haste Today?
Mm-hmm.
Haste Today and Through the Eyes of the Dead. I remember that.
No One Is Victim.
And was it no? No, it wasn't No Innocent.
It was As I Lay Dying, by the way.
Yeah, As I Lay Dying was the headliner.
Oh, As I Lay Dying, yeah. As I
As I Lay Dying was the headliner. Haste Today was also there. All That Remains was the other band.
All
too.
That Remains. Yeah.
Yeah. And Through the Eyes of the Dead. That was our first, very, very first Soma concert we ever went to. I don't know what year it was, but it was the same year they dropped an Ocean Between Us album.
Oh, I know the date. I actually know the date on this one.
What is it?
It was December 8th, 2007.
2000. Okay, wow. So yeah,
December 8th, 2007.
yeah, that's my number 5. Glad you remember that day.
Yeah, because I remember Scott McDonald was the one that took us.
Yep, and his brother came
Chris,
too.
yeah.
Chris and Scott came. Yeah, they took us to our first concert, and I think you were in 8th grade.
Yep.
And I was like, what was I? Junior? It was sophomore in high school. Sophomore in high school.
Definitely.
So crazy.
Only reason I remember that day is because that's the day John Lennon was shot.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's funny.
I know.
That's interesting.
Because John Barger, I hope John's watched this episode.
Yeah.
But John Barger would mention it all the time. He didn't. Because I actually remember him being like, "Does anybody know what day is?" And I was And I was actually
It's just Ashley Dane concert today, right?
no, but it's so funny because I knew nobody in this class knew it, and I was in 8th grade. I was a really music buff at the time, where I played a lot of guitar.
Yeah.
Knew a lot about like rock history and just music. And I remember he kind of was like shocked that I knew the answer because I was not the smartest kid in high school or in school, period, whatsoever. Not smart, horrible.
But you knew your music.
But I knew music. That was really the thing. I knew so much. I knew what was up, and I was like, yeah, that's the day John Lennon passed away.
Cool.
And then he was like, oh, okay, sounds like you know your history. But then he asked me another question that I didn't really know.
Yeah.
But whatever.
You knew that day.
But I didn't. But I knew that one.
That was the same. That was the same day we went to go see Ashley Dane.
And the
See
same
our
day-
first like screamo metal concert.
And I'll never forget that day too. I know we're gonna expand on this, but that's a good one you said. That's actually a really good one because
Yeah.
now I remember that's when we had. If you don't know about Monster used to have these cans. They're called BFCs.
the BFC
That-
monster cans.
You can imagine what they stand for, and what does it stand for under?
Big freaking can.
Big freaking can. Yeah, exactly. And
It was a big.
Hunter. I remember Hunter being like, "Dude, I went to 7-Eleven because it was 7-Eleven was like near our school." And he just came back like after because it was like we got picked up after school and then went down to Soma, raged, whatever.
Yeah.
I remember just getting it. I remember just thinking like, oh my gosh, dude, this is like a big can. And then it was raining that day. It was raining like
I remember.
crazy.
Yeah, it was
It
raining.
was raining like crazy. But man, dude, the first time going to Soma, I can just
Scream
feel, I can smell, everything.
Yep.
First time I ever stepped into like a legit concert venue and like seeing Asla dying
Yep.
and this is all before the whole Timbaland Beasts thing ever happened.
Yeah.
Putting a hit on his wife, whatever. This
Whatever.
Is like,
No, it doesn't matter.
yeah, whatever.
Moving on.
So, but it was still so good, and I literally will just never forget that moment. And actually, that concert, I crowd surfed for the first time.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Oceans Between Us came out.
Yep.
And
And you crowd surf, they put you up to the front, yeah. It was a
And
small little scrawny kid, easy to get around.
And then there was someone who randomly was filming that
Yeah.
day too. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, that was me. And this is the time no one really had like camera phones. It was
Yeah.
like it had like a legit camera
Yeah.
to be filmed. Wow, good.
Good number 5.
Way to start off with a good one.
Yeah.
Way to dig through the archives on that one.
Mhm. What's your number 4?
I'm gonna say number 4, non-biased and kind of going off the beaten path in this one. I'm gonna have to say 50 Cent.
Cool.
I was on the
Which
50
one? You did a whole tour with him. I was gonna say.
You want to hear a story? Here's a good story. I'll tell you a story about this one. One of the coolest ones I did was New York.
Okay.
It was we were at the Barclays Center in New York, so it was a back-to-back show. And 50 Cent, huge. He had a lot of special guests. But one special guest in particular I'll never forget was J. Cole. J. Cole, he was there. He was going to go play, which I didn't know at the time. So my buddy Danny and I were on the tour, and I did VIP for the 50 Cent tour with Live Nation. That's whatever, it's cool. But I brought my best friend Danny with me to do this tour with me. We always get done. Our job, we usually got done before 50 Cent would go on, or the actual show would happen. So you would see Jeremiah, Busta Rhymes, 50 Cent. That was on the tour. That was the bill every day. I remember we got done at the Barclays Center, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, let's go see what's up." And we can walk anywhere, backstage, anywhere, didn't matter. I remember being backstage, or I remember being like behind this curtain, like behind the stage. And dude, I was just kind of like watching the show from the side. Nobody's near us, and I'm talking to my friend Danny like this, like yo, blah blah, kind of saying what's up. And I'm like midway, trying to talk to him. J. Cole just walks in front of us, and I was just like, yeah, oh my gosh, that's J. Cole. It was just like I had to stop. I was saying I go, oh my gosh, that's J. Cole right in front of us.
That's cool.
He literally walks up, looks at the stage, nods his head, leaves. 2 minutes later, comes on stage. First thing first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. Like it was
Yeah.
legit. It was actually legit. It was probably one of the coolest things I experienced on that tour. But it just like, and I'm not like a big, huge rapper fan, but I do know J. Cole and I do know these people, and it was cool to like see that happen in front of my
Yeah.
face, on how that all happened, and I'll never forget that. That was
Yep.
good. That was a cool experience, and that tour was good. Learned a lot about life in that tour, but shout out to my tour family.
There you go.
That
That's
was
a good one, bro. That's a
Yeah.
good one. That's
I don't
that's
think
pretty
I don't really
solid.
think I ever talk about my touring life on this podcast.
Not too much, man. But
I mean,
hey, when you do, it's cool.
Thank
I love
you.
it. So
I appreciate it. I don't like. I want to be like that guy who's like, "Oh, I've been on tour, yeah, because I'm nobody." Remember, like, it's fine. But that was cool. That was a good, really moment that I thought was incredible. I actually have another funny story about that whole tour, but whatever. But that was good. It was fun. It was fun. I like that one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good
What's
story.
your number 4?
I'm thinking about it the whole time sitting here. There's just get in order. I'll go off the beaten path too. First time going to, what did I go to? Which one was it? Shoot. Okay. Ready? When I went to LIB for the first time.
LIB.
Yeah, LIB.
Lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. That was a good one. I'll take that
Really?
one. Fourth time. It was like that or Hardfest, but I'm gonna pick LIB for this one.
Good call.
Yeah.
Lightning in a bottle.
Lightning in a
Wow,
bottle.
That's not even on my list. I should probably look at my list.
For number 4. I'm like going through the ones in my head, and I got like I'm trying to save like the good memorable ones at the top.
Yeah, LIB
There's
is.
so many good ones.
I love LIB. LIB is one of the best festivals that I love to work every year. It's
Yeah.
a little all EDM festival. I mean, dude, that's when we saw Rez.
C-Rez.
Rez is sick.
Yeah, that was sick.
Rezzy Desi. Love Rez. That's a good one. I like LIB. LIB is a fun
That
festival.
was fun. Yeah.
I love that place.
Cool. What's number 3?
My number 3. Let's see. I can't believe I'm pulling these out of the archives here. You ready for this one?
Yep.
Spirit West Coast, seeing Family
You
Force
do.
5.
That's a better one.
Spirit West Coast was this all like Christian, like music festival, but that used to have in the beginning like
that was actually really good.
like
bands.
gnarly like metal bands like Norma Jean, Haste the Day, Demon Hunter,
Yeah.
As Lay Dying, like
A lot
all
of
these
good-
like old like face down bands, Shine Down and all these like metal but Christian bands,
Yeah.
played it. And when Hunter and I saw the good old Family Force 5. You don't know
Yeah.
who Family Force 5 is. I think it's kind of like the encompassing of what we are now.
I'm gonna take out LIB. I'm gonna put that as my number 4. I'm gonna take
Oh.
that. I'm taking that. I'm putting the same. I'm putting that as my number 4.
It's a good one.
That's a great one.
That was awesome. Yeah, I mean,
That was a better concert. I had more fun doing that than LIB. honestly.
yeah, and that show we saw.
What was it? We went back to back.
We did see back to back because you know who was the day before?
It was Flatfoot 56.
Flatfoot 56,
Yeah.
man.
That was a fun show.
Oh man,
Great.
Flatfoot, great show.
Yeah. We went there to go to see first. It was either the first night or the second night. We went to go see one of the two. It was both. We just went back to back to go see Family Force 5 and Flatfoot 56.
56, just for that person.
Just for that band.
I remember-
everybody else was like, all right, we didn't care.
Yeah, I remember Hawk Nelson played.
No.
We were like, but people were going gnarly for Hawk Nelson, which I don't understand.
People just want to go gnarly.
I mean,
I
yeah,
think people
whatever.
Just,
But,
people
like,
just want an excuse to go gnarly.
Hawk Nelson. If you're hearing that band and you're going, oh my god,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't
we
blame.
feel you.
I don't blame you.
But look up Flatfoot 56. They had the freaking bagpipes. They had the freaking punk rock. They were hard, bro.
They were great.
They were
Flatfoot
great.
56 was awesome. It's like an Irish, but like Boston Irish punk band.
Yeah.
They were really good. I love that one. And Family Force 5, that's when they would come out. They
It was
came out
peak-
with
that
Dance
was
or Die.
Peak times.
Dude, Dance or Die was a great one.
Yeah.
I mean, get your back off the wall. Get your back off the wall.
Yep.
So good. I mean, it was just
So-
like dance party rock. I remember he'd even say that. Like,
Yeah.
Soul Glow Activator was the front man's name. And he would just come out and be like, oh, come on now. Shake that badunka-dunk for Jesus, baby. It was so good, dude. And he had the whole cans, man.
Oh, the whole case, yeah.
Setting trends, dude. It was so good. I
times.
want to be Family Force 5 in my personality.
Yeah.
So good, so great. I love them. They're not a band anymore, unfortunately, but
They lived their life.
they live their life.
It was they had their moments. It was good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
That's a good number. That's a good number 3.
Thank
I think
you.
my number 3. My number 3. I'm I'm battling back and forth. I'm like, what is my actual number 1? I have like 3 number 1s.
At this point, it's not. I
just have, like,
I'm
3
thinking, like,
number
all
one.
these old fun things that we just did back in the day.
All right, okay. I got my number 1. Okay, I got my number 1. I'm
this
gonna
number-
keep that at number 1.
This is number 2.
I got my number 2 is this.
Oh wait, did you do 3?
No, I don't have a number 3. My number 3. Oh, what's it gonna be? Oh man, what's it gonna be? Shoot. What was it? I'm trying to think of like other venues and stuff like that. But no, I mean I had a lot of. There's so many good ones, man. Like okay, number 3. Check this out. Save the other 2. Yeah, okay. Number 3. This was the Warped Tour. And this was the Warped Tour where they really brought out some DJs. They really started to bring out DJs and
Yeah.
stuff. This is where I was starting to mix it up.
DJ Chocolate. What was the name?
Big Chocolate.
Big
That's
Chocolate.
that was the one I'm talking
Big
about. now.
Chocolate. Yeah.
This was the year we went to San Diego, and they held it at the. This was the year they didn't held it out outside of Petco. They had it out. I think it was in Chula Vista, where outside of
At where Snapdragon is now.
Snapdragon. Yeah,
It was called Jack Murphy, or it was called Qualcomm.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like in the parking lot. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. It was like on the outskirts of the
Yes.
stadium.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was when Big Chocolate and the DJs were coming out. That's when I was just like, dude, this is one of the best Warped Tours I've ever been to. Hands down. Along same year, that's when Attack, Ask Sandria, Devil Wears Prada was also playing that same Warped Tour show. It was such a big lineup. Paramore was there for that one too.
Yeah, dude.
All the bangers, bro. Into Shikari.
Oh, interesting.
It was everybody, dude. So many good ones, bro. We're all there, and I remember that one specifically for like the DJs because that's when I was like getting into like the electronic music, and the Big Chocolate was doing a lot of remixes and had his dubstep, bro. Was really into the dubstep era. That was when like Skrillex was coming out too. Not playing Warped Tour, but Skrillex was a big deal, and so dubstep became really relevant in people's music.
Yeah,
and
big time.
so that was the year. That was one of the best years. I enjoyed it. So that's my number 3.
Nice.
I don't know what year that was, but it was a year. It was a Warped Tour. It was Warped Tour, and it was held at that one place. However long ago that was.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna piggyback off that one. For me, my number 2 would be, and I don't know, no particular order, not number 1. I remember whatever, but mine would have been my first ever Warped Tour that I ever went to, what I ever attended.
Yeah.
And that year, 2009, I went with this girl named Nicole Garita.
Yep.
Which is a whole story I think we talked
Remember
about.
you told me the story, yep.
What we talked about like in the beginning of like our podcast era. I mean, that was like one of my best years ever because I remember just being like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. And that was at Chula Vista. This was at Chula Vista. Like this was in like next to Soak City.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the first band I saw at my ever first Warped Tour, unknowingly, not even knew who they were, was Scaring Kids. Random, right? I had no idea. But I mean, great band, whatever. But that's when I saw the Devil Wears Prada for the first time.
Nice.
And I crowd surfed. I saw Devil Wears Prada. I saw NoFX that day. I couldn't tell you who I saw in the beginning, but I remember just being like it was kind of my hit of like life. Like, whoa. This is a thing, this is like what people do. This is the punk rock life. This is and I was an idiot and wore all black that day, like black pants and everything on the asphalt.
Yeah.
Horrible idea. But it was one of the coolest things. I remember I met up with one of my friends who I don't see as much anymore, named Derek Harada. He and I saw Devil Wears Prada together, and it was so good, so crazy. Crowd surfing all the way from like the very back, getting into like a mosh pit for the first time and understanding like what that is. So good, liked it a lot.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
yeah.
That's
my number
cool.
2.
That's your number 2. Number 2 for me is a Breathe Carolina show.
I thought you were gonna say something.
Oh yeah, I was gonna wait for that one. I was building that one up. It was a Breathe Carolina show. They just dropped
Hello Fascination.
they just dropped the one afterwards. This is Hell Is What You Make It.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The one right after Hello Fascination, by the way. That whole album. I fell in love with that whole album, and I couldn't wait to see them when they came around. And when they came around, they were playing at Soma. And dude, I just remember they were the headliner of that show too, and I was just stoked, so stoked for that. And dude, we partied so hard.
Yeah.
I just remember going nuts for that whole
love Breathe
set.
Carolina. I love
Dude.
Breathe Carolina.
So good. It was so good. I just had the greatest time. At that show. Even went back. Even after the show ended, we went around. Just go hang out, just to see if we can see them, talk to them. They were talking to everybody, and one guy was getting a haircut. And
Is that when the day we got a haircut? Is that the show the guy was getting a haircut in the back
Yeah.
when we were watching? We were
Yeah,
hanging
that
out.
was
Not
the show.
watching, but like,
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
yeah, and I remember him saying that Big Chocolate was doing a remix of one of their songs. I was just like, yeah, dude, Big Chocolate.
Big chocolate.
So that was a great time. It was a great time. I just raged. I was a big still love Breathe Carolina.
Still love
today,
Breathe Carolina.
yeah.
Breathe Carolina. This one goes out to you. We love you.
Yeah.
Let's do a Nemo together. Let us open up for you.
So even got to meet later in life, years later, got to meet the Screamer later. Got to do a show with him in LA.
Yeah, that's cool.
He was a random guest. Got to hang out with him, talk with him. The guy was super sweet, super cool.
Down to earth.
Love
Love
that dude. Love that dude.
Love
Yeah,
that.
cool guy. And so that was my number 2.
The good old Breathe Carolina.
Yep,
So good.
so good.
I'll still put on that album too. It's a great album.
Yep.
All right, my number 1. My number 1 has to go out to, for me, just the San Diego Legends. Back to back in San Diego working. It was Blink-182.
Nice.
Blink-182. Well, when I saw that, I was working with my buddy, Elliot, and as tour friends, you go help out your friends when they come to your city. That's what you do. As a bud, do it. Saw Blink-182 for the first time, back to back nights.
Nice.
So good. All a bunch of bangers, and it was just also really nice. It was kind of like I was very established in my touring career, and it was kind of like I was kind of staying home, didn't really tour a lot. So going out to the show, it's like, oh my gosh, I knew a lot of people who were on the crew, especially my buddy and the people that were working in and stuff. So it was kind of like a wow. And we also had a really fun time like together with Jimmy Snyder, which shout out to Jimmy, you're a good dude. And our buddy Bryce, who had just a fun time. We just had a good time working together and seeing Blink-182 and raging together.
Good times.
On and on, reckless abandon, and they're just so good, dude. And I mean, they played all the songs that everybody knew, especially even like old ones or new ones. From
Yeah.
Neighbors.
Yep.
Probably one of the most bands. That's probably one of the most songs from a band I know out of any band I know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it was so good.
Nice.
Yeah. So what is your number 1, Hunter?
My number 1 is the first time I ever went to Warped Tour. Pomona.
What year was that?
2010?
Yeah, I was gonna say 2010.
2010? It's the first Warped Tour I ever went to. We went to Pomona.
Yeah, and that lady from our church said you need to go to Pomona because there's grass everywhere. And
Yes, that's right.
That's right.
That's right. That's why we went to the Pomona show. And and that was the first time seeing everybody. Bring Me the Horizon. Seeing Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah.
Seeing
Some 41.
I don't think I saw from Some 41 there.
Yeah, we did.
Did we? No, I saw Casualties.
I saw Casualties.
I don't remember seeing Some 41.
I remember seeing Some 41.
I don't remember seeing them. I remember
Maybe I
seeing.
don't.
I think it was because I went to go see Breathe Carolina
Breathe Carolina.
because they were also playing.
Can't go wrong.
Parkway Drive.
Parkway Drive.
That was the last one we saw. I remember that's how the night ended. And dude, I just I don't know who else I saw, but I just saw the ones that I wanted to see, and it was super fun. It was
So
super
good.
epic. Yeah,
That's a good list.
that was a good. Yeah, that was my first time ever going to Pomona, for the Warped Tour show, and it was probably the most epic time. I just remember the hype going there, and I remember the hype when we left, dude. It was just so good time. Great time.
Yeah, keeping that alive with our shows, and I guess that's why when all this kind of put together, you know, seeing Breeze Carolina, seeing all these like fun shows that we saw, I guess just encompassing it all into one for argument nights to make it fun.
Absolutely.
And I love it, and I love all that. I love where we kind of came from and some good roots, because I kind of forgot about the roots.
Yeah,
honestly, sometimes we get so lost that we forget about what we really came from and what we're really into and who we are.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
And and here we are doing Emo Nights.
Yeah.
Playing some of those songs that from our favorite bands we ever went to.
Exactly.
Cool. But I think it's time to wrap it up.
It is. Before I go, please follow us on all social medias, the Two Bros on Podcast. You can listen to on Spotify and YouTube. Today, subscribe. You can watch our episodes because we have cameras.
Yep.
On both angles. Watch it. There's really funny things go on. And if you don't have anything to watch it on, you can watch it on Spotify. And like I said as well, please follow us on our Emo Nights with the Brothers Grimm. We have a lot of shows coming up, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot of shows coming up.
August is packed.
August is packed. So if you can't come to one, there's 5 other ones you can come to.
Yep.
But I'm going to wrap it up here. But once again, RJ, we love you, brother.
Yep.
We love you so much. This episode goes out to you. We're here. We love you. And I'm glad you're reigning and not hurting anymore. But on that note, I'm MC Broccoli.
I'm DJ Hunts.
Have a great Have a great rest of your week, everybody.
Have a great West too.
Positivity is the activity.
Gratitude is the attitude.
I love you very much.
Right.
Later.